Good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Choppin It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Hey, listen, before I get started, I just want to let everybody know that you can find me on YouTube. Just search me at Troy Ramel, Royal Ramel, R-A-M-E-L, or you can go to Facebook.com, Choppin It Up with Ramel. That's CHOPPINRAMEL. Chopping it up with Ramel. All right, so let's get started. Man, there was a lot of games in the NBA to talk about last night. But first and foremost, let's get started with the new CBA that's in effect. The players have reached an agreement with the union, and the league has reached an agreement for a new CBA. Looks like we're going to have basketball for the next 5-6 years. I don't have all the details, but that's good news that basketball will be no stoppage of basketball, no shortage of games, and that's a good thing. And it's good to see that the league and the union can get together on this, because right now basketball's popularity is probably at an all-time high. So it's good to see them, continuing this spurt that they're having and continuing this streak of games, man. Because again, basketball is at an all-time high right now. And, with the players' union, you got some prominent players involved, whether it's Chris Paul, Carmelo. So it's good to see some of your more prominent players involved, Now, with this new CBA, unfortunately, there's not a clause in there for rest. I talked about this yesterday on my show, and I'm going to talk about it again. I am not a fan of players resting under any circumstances. If you want to rest, hey, shout out to my little cuz, often calling my baby sis, Miss Chandra. I appreciate you tuning in and looking out. Much love to you, babe. Happy holidays, and if I don't get a chance to see you, happy birthday. Shout out to the December babies. Happy birthday. Once again, there should be a clause in there for rest, man. I'm not a component of it. I'm not a big fan of it. If these players wants to rest, there's multiple things that they can do. Hold on, I got a caller early on in the show. We got a caller. Hello, is there a caller on the line? Yes.
Is this Chopping It Up for Ramel?
Yes, it is. Who's on the line?
This is the minister, baby. This is the minister, man.
The minister.
I'm calling in with the gospel truth.
Oh, okay, all right. Hold on, let me turn your volume up a little bit. So we got the minister on the line. Well, welcome to the show. Where you from? Tell us where you're from.
I'm from Ravenswood Projects, man.
All right, my hometown. Hey, this is a childhood friend, man. Glad to have you aboard, Minister Jehudi, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing outstanding as far as life is concerned, but I'm not doing too well as far as the NBA is concerned. I'm going to be brief. Not going to take up a lot of time like Greg Berry, but I am going to be briefer to the point. I'm calling for a Christmas Day boycott of the NBA.
Whoa.
Turn to the NFL, turn to anything, watch soap operas, unwrapped presents, but do not watch the NBA on Christmas Day. We have to show the NBA players, these rich, arrogant, selfish individuals, that they cannot just sit out games and really not have any thought about the fans. We've got to let them know that that is not acceptable. For LeBron, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love could not play in last night's game. They're one time in Memphis a year, and they all three not show up. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and we have to send a message to the NBA. They get their money from the advertising from the networks. If we show them through low ratings that we're not going to tolerate this nonsense, and by boycotting the tickets at the games, they'll get a message that their money is not guaranteed and that they cannot take us for granted. I'm done. The minister is giving you the gospel truth, and I'm out.
Hey, I appreciate the call, man. I mean, those are some strong words by the minister, and he was very direct and to the point. And you know what? I don't blame him at one bit. I mean, there's something has to be done to this rest. It's ridiculous. I think it's disrespectful to the opponent. I think it's disrespectful to the game. I think it's disrespectful disrespectful to those who have played the game and paved the way for this generation. And then I think it's disrespectful to us, the fans, man. I mean, I read an article yesterday about a woman out of Memphis, not even out of Memphis, that lived 3.5 hours from Memphis. And where she had said that her son's birthday, his 10th birthday was coming up. She asked him, did he want to party? He said, no, I want to go to the game and see my favorite player, LeBron James. She said, well, there's a chance that he may sit up. He said, that's okay, Mom. At least I get to see Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. As a result of it, this lady took off an hour and a half personal leave from her job, drove 3.5 hours to Memphis from where she lived, rented a hotel, had 3 tickets to only be disappointed. And not only that, to see the look on her son's face when he traveled, to see not just one player, but possibly one of 3 players, and none of them showed up. And what makes matters worse about not showing up is one thing not to play the game, which I think is bad, but it's another thing not to show up, because he could have made this young man's day even if he could have had just took a picture from a distance, or maybe even got an autograph. So not even being on the trip or in the building makes it that much worse. I think something has to be done. This is horrible. It's despicable, and it's disgraceful. And I'm on the minister's side. I mean, it's going to be tough for me to boycott the games on Christmas. I'm going to be honest. It's like a tradition. But I see where he's going with it. And because at some point, here's the thing. We're part responsible of the revenue that is generated by the NBA. Whether it's through us showing up at games, whether us buying league pass, which I do, or just watching the games, tuning in. We're responsible for some of that basketball revenue. And then also, you take a guy like LeBron, and I'm not just going to pick on LeBron, but you take a guy like LeBron that does well off the court as far as sneakers and apparels. This same little kid probably has his LeBron sneakers. This same little kid probably has his jersey, was looking forward to putting it on and showing up with his maybe his Cleveland gear, his sneakers, LeBron sneakers, and to be disappointed. And make matters worse, when I was young buying sneakers, they released the sneakers all at one time. They didn't release them by color. Now they release them by colors. So a parent like this is probably buying a new pair of $160 pair of sneakers every 2 months, if not sooner. I think it's disgraceful, and the league needs to do something about that. And I'm not sure what they can do, but again, if you want rest as an NBA player, and I understand it, and I'll be the first to say, I don't know the physicality that goes into an 82-game season. But I know this. I watched guys in previous years. They did not play in the Olympics. They did not play in World Games. They took the time out to rest their bodies in the summertime. That is when you should rest your body. You take that time and rest your body. I'm a little bit disappointed with this generation. I think the minister, he was on point, and I think he was also a little bit too light on him. I think they have this diva mentality. David Stern created this phenomenon for the players to have brands, and they're taking it to the next level, man, where they're becoming selfish and downright disrespectful. And it is distasteful and disgraceful. Something needs to be done about it. It's to the point, if I have, my daughters, they would like to go and see LeBron here at a Hawks game. I'm a little hesitant to buy a ticket when he comes, because I don't know if he will show up or not. I just don't know. Why spend the money? And understand this, fans. Understand this. Based off of who the home team is playing could determine the ticket prices. So if you're looking to play, maybe go see New Orleans play your hometown team, chances are that's a cheap ticket. But if LeBron is coming to town, or the Golden State Warriors is coming to town, or maybe even New York or D. Wade is coming to town, the tickets is going to go up. Is that fair? That the tickets go up and the players don't show up? Is that fair, I ask? Shout out to my niece, Newbie. She's tuned in. How you doing? Appreciate the love. Keep watching. But, yeah. Is that fair to us fans? What if this was a case of a birthday gift? It's Christmas time. What if someone wants to surprise their child with a Christmas gift, tickets to their favorite team, and then the guys don't show up? It's just disrespectful, man. I'm sorry. I don't bear witness to it. Listen, I work hard. I cannot call up on my job and say, yeah, listen, I'm not coming in. I need rest today. No. And now they're talking about, okay, I agree with 6 preseason games. That's fine. That's fine. 6 preseason games. They're talking about starting the season in mid-October. Can we get through the World Series? Baseball playoffs? I'm just not feeling that. I think I got a text on the line. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's that rest. I mean, as you can hear in the tone of my voice, man, I'm really upset about it. I think it's pretty disrespectful. My cousin, once again, she says her heart goes out to the birthday boy and his mom for traveling to that game. Yeah, I mean, you can't help but to feel a little something for that, man, because, you know, that was them, but it could have easily been you. It could have been easily me. It could have been easily the next person, man. I mean, these tickets is not hard to come by, man. And don't let the game be sold out, and now you got to go buy it through another ticket outlet, where maybe the tickets are now even more. Man, if you want to rest, beat up your opponent and sit out the fourth quarter. You want to rest? Don't play no World Games. Don't play no Olympic Games. That's how you get rest. Moving along, there was 10 games last night in association, man, and you know, I'm gonna start with the Lakers, man. They go into Brooklyn. You know, I'm not a Laker fan, but I was kind of pulling for them a little bit when it got out this early out the gate kind of early and with a good start, man. But they just seem to be falling on some hard times. I noticed some injuries. They lost 8 straight right now. 8 straight. Oh, before, I'd be remiss to say this. I'm sorry. What was I thinking? Part of the reason that these guys resting is so that they can be fresh for the finals or the playoffs. Well, can anybody out there explain to me why Boogie Cousins was resting yesterday? Because the only way he's going to the playoffs is if he buys a ticket just like you and I. He could get traded. But if he remains on the Sacramento Kings, the only way he's going to get a ticket, to a playoff, is through a ticket. And that's the problem you have when you resting players, because you're concerned about what's going to happen in May and June. But if you're resting a playoff team player, then the losing team player is going to want the same rest. He ain't going to think that he's any inferior than this person. Again, let me get back to the games, man. So the Lakers, they just lost 8 straight. Hopefully they can turn it around. I'm not sure what's going on there. I read a report. Luke Walton is calling out the players. He's beginning to raise his voice. I guess so, man. He's got to let them know, man. If it slip away down, then there's no chance or any hope of contending for that 8th spot out west. So, kudos to Walton trying to rally these troops up. Kudos to him. OKC, they go into Utah. They get beat up on. Second consecutive game that Westbrook and OKC lost, and he did not have a triple-double as well. I wonder if fatigue is sinking in over there. But I rest assured this, I would be very surprised to hear anything about Westbrook sitting out because of rest. And he may be one who needs it, but I just don't see it. That guy has the motor that we appreciate. He got the motor that we appreciate. Hey, shout out to Greg. He's tuning in. But yeah, that's 2 games in a row that Russell Westbrook has not got a triple-double. So let's keep an eye on that. He's still having an MVP season, still having a sensational start to the season. I still like OKC's chances. I wish somehow or another they could make it to the Western Conference Finals and play Golden State. I think that would be phenomenal. I think that would be must-watch TV. I really do. I really do. Miami, they beat up on Indiana. Let me ask you a question about Indiana. I thought that Frank Vogel was a very good coach and was the right coach there in Indiana. Apparently, Larry Bird had other ideas. He wanted to speed up the game. He wanted to go to a more smaller lineup and a faster pace, team. And I understand that. It seemed like that's where the league is going. But Frank Vogel was a very good coach. Maybe he could have adjusted to the style that you wanted. But anyway, they let him go. And then they bring in Nate McMillan, who was the associate coach prior. They made some moves. They brought in Jeff Teague. They brought in the young man from Brooklyn. Man, I can't think of his name right now. Power forward. They got the youngster Miles Turner over there. You got Paul George. He's coming back. Why are they 13-13? Are they suited for that style? Is this a team that maybe looked like they overachieved last year, that got everybody excited about them this year? Is Nate McMillan the right guy for this type of team or offense? Because the Nate McMillan that I once upon a time knew was playing more of a hard-nosed defensive type style opposed to this run and gun situation. I don't know if he's a perfect fit for this style. Great coach in my mind, don't get me wrong, and deserves an opportunity. And by no stretch of the imagination am I saying he should be removed. But I'm just curious, is he the guy for this style of play? It's something to keep an eye on, because at this rate, Indiana is looking like a 500 team. And the pundits had them being a team that can compete in the East and maybe give Cleveland a hard time. I don't see it happening, though. I don't see it happening. And speaking of Cleveland, they were shorthanded last night going into Memphis, and they took an L. Memphis wind up beating them, which, hey, we saw it coming. We saw it coming. I mean, like I said, they didn't even put them on the plane. They didn't even allow them to, show up into the arena. So anyway, but Memphis goes ahead and beat them. Now, does it matter if Cleveland has home court advantage throughout the playoffs? Probably not. It doesn't matter. This is a team that's destined to go to the finals, man. But it would be very interesting if this game is a game that you look back on and you say, you know what, if we'd have just sent 2 of them, and maybe we could get the win. I hope this game bites them in the end, man. I hope this is the game that causes Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final to be on the road. I really do. I doubt it, but I hope it does. I really do. I hope it does, man. Moving right along. So Spurs, they went over Boston. Boston's another team that everybody has some high hopes for. They're slightly a game over 500 right now. I do think Brad Stevens one of the better minds in the game right now, especially young mind. Hey, shout out to Skip, man. What's up, man? How you doing, man? Hey, listen, I'm on my soapbox, Skip, about this rest. I don't know how much you heard, but man, I'm just fed up with this rest, man. Maybe you can make a comment. I know you're probably at work. You can't call me up. But if you got a few minutes, call me up, man. I'd like to hear from you. Just call me on my cell. But yeah, Boston, man. I'm not sure if Al Horford was the right pickup for that team. I always thought they needed a wing. The guy I would keep my eye on is Hayward out of Utah. I know he's going to be a free agent after the end of the year. That's a team that's loaded with a lot of talent. I'm sure they're going to just open the vault out in Utah to keep him there. But remember, he did play with Brad Stevens back in college at Butler. And to me, he would be an ideal fit for them playing the three over there to go along with Bradley and Isaiah Thomas. He gives them that outside shot that's a little bit on the automatic side. He gives them a real pure three in my estimation. I like Jay Crowder, but I like Jay Crowder like a guy that can come off the bench as a six-man and give you 25 minutes, filling the three, filling the four. He's a hard-nosed guy. He's a tough guy. Got somewhat of an offensive game, but I think in the case with Boston, they need that wing guy over there, man. And I think Gordon Hayward would be a perfect fit. Keep an eye on that. I do like the rookie Jaylen Brown. Will they be patient enough with him? That's the question. But I think Hayward is a better fit for now. Doesn't mean Jaylen Brown can't fill that role going forward, though. But something to keep an eye on. With Boston floundering a little bit and playing a little bit less than what people projected, puts my Knicks in third place, guys. It keeps my Knicks in third place. They got a tough game tonight. They had an off night last night. They got a tough game against Golden State tonight. They might be shorthanded without Derrick Rose. That's another topic of discussion. I'm not sure if they can pull out this one. But it would be nice if they could pull it out. It's going to be a little tough, though. It's going to be a little tough. I got a caller. Who's on the line?
What's going on? It's Cheetah Guru from Gainesville.
Yeah, Greg, what's up, man? What's going on?
What's going on, man? Hey, I wanted to let you know, man. Listen, man, you heard from me. Me and you had this talk 100 times. Here goes 101. Carmelo's gone, man. We're just going through the motions right now. He's gone, Ramel. He's gone.
When you say gone, what do you mean gone? Is he going to be traded? Is he going to agree to a trade?
Yes, he's gone. He's gone. I'm telling you. Listen, man, it's mentally, we've seen this before, Rob. Nobody wants to see. Come on. You know when they're gone, man.
Where's he going? Where's he going, Greg? Where's he going?
That I can't answer. I don't know. I don't know where he's going, but I know mentally it's starting to be draining for him from the things that are being said in the press, with the owner, with this, with that. It's too much, Rob. And it's New York. It's too much, man.
Greg,
he's gone.
Let me share something with you.
They was talking about it today. Is Melo be traded? When they start asking questions like that over and over again, man, it's a matter of time, Ramel.
Let me share this with you. Melo has a no trade clause. Since Melo has come to New York, Melo have said all the right things. Melo have said nothing that insinuates that he wants to be out of New York. He says he believes in Phil. We gotta trust the process. Let it work. Let it play out. He's said all the right things. He's never put his hand up to ask to be traded. Now, will he be traded at some point? I won't say it won't happen, but right now, I don't think it will happen during this season. Now, here's a situation or opportunity that he might get traded. Maybe he gets traded in the offseason. And walk with me through this, Greg. I firmly believe that the Los Angeles Clippers will not make the Western Conference Final and definitely not the NBA Finals. If they do not reach those two areas, and especially the NBA Final, especially the Western Conference Final, I believe that team is going to be broken up. And if that team is broken up, Chris Paul, mark my words, Greg, Chris Paul will be a New York Knick. And I'll tell you why. As well as Derrick Rose have played, and as much as he's helped us this season early on, with him being absent 2 games last week, missing half a game the other night, possibly missing tonight, and we're only in a quarter of the season. We haven't even got to the halfway mark. The Knicks will be wise not to re-sign this guy during the season. And as long as the Knicks get to the playoffs and possibly the second round, they would be attractive enough for a guy like Chris Paul to say, I'll come play with my buddy and Carmelo. If they strike out on Chris Paul, then maybe Carmelo sees that he might have to go somewhere else. That's why I say maybe he gets traded in the offseason. But during this season, he's going to hang around and see the possibility of maybe Chris Paul coming over there.
Okay, but maybe, well, vice versa. Maybe the Clippers extend their hand to him. Maybe they'll get rid of Blake Griffin. Huh?
I think Blake Griffin is gone, and to me, his top two, I think he's gone. I think he's gone. And here's the thing. Once he leaves, the Clippers don't have nobody to give back to trade for Carmelo. Because I don't think Blake is a good fit in New York. Although I wouldn't mind having him. But I don't know if Blake is a 3. He's probably more of a 4. And if you bring him to the 4, that means Porzingis has got to go to the 5. And at some point, Porzingis will go to the 5. So maybe that will work in a sign and trade. Blake goes to New York, Carmelo goes to Clippers. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think what you're going to see is Paul going to New York. I think Blake Griffin is headed to OKC or possibly to the Lakers. And
I can see him. I can see him at OKC.
Right. I see those two destinations for Blake Griffin simply because, he got a little Hollywood in him, so he may not want to leave the Los Angeles area, and the Lakers could use him. And then OKC, that's his hometown, and he would be a perfect fit there. At the power forward position, he would be a perfect fit to play along with Westbrook.
With Towns in them?
Huh?
With Towns. You don't think Blake would be all right over there with Towns in them?
I don't think Blake is what Minnesota needs. I think Minnesota has enough young talent that just needs to groom. I think they need a veteran presence. I'm going to tell you who I think will be a perfect fit there, but it'll be risky, and that is Paul Millsap. I think Paul Millsap will be an ideal fit because he's the kind of guy that can have his numbers without getting in the way of Towns and Wiggins' growth. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but I don't know if you actually trade for him because he's a free agent and he may not re-sign with you, and you might have to give up Levine, Dunn, and Shabazz.
Yeah. You would have to probably give up Levine, man.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you something.
That's a risky move right there.
I'm going to tell you something. If I am Minnesota, Levine is not untradeable. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would package Levine right now, Greg. Levine, Rubio, and a future first-round pick for John Wall.
Yeah, okay. I can go with that.
And I think John Wall could be traded in the offseason if Washington doesn't turn this ship around.
Right. I can go with that. Well, you wouldn't want John Wall over there at the Knicks?
You know what? My pecking order would be clearly Steph Curry because he's available too, but I doubt he's going anywhere. I mean, there's probably a 1% chance he leaves Golden State. I think I'll take Chris Paul over John Wall, and only because I think Chris Paul will really help the growth and the maturation process of KP, Porzingis. I think he's the perfect point guard for Porzingis. He's a point guard that can help everybody else and still get his. You know what I mean? And he would be at this point in his career, he would be an outstanding fit for New York.
Okay.
He would be an outstanding fit for New York going in the next season.
Okay. Yeah. I can see Chris over there at the Knicks.
Yeah. So that's anything else, Greg?
That's it, man. That's all I'm not going to talk about my Steelers right now. We all right.
You know what? While you on that line, man, I was talking NBA. I'll switch over to NFL. But I'll tell you this, man. Pittsburgh is on the road for against Cincinnati, man. And I think Pittsburgh is rolling right now. I think Pittsburgh is really rolling. I think they're coming together at the right time, But this is a tough game, man, because Cincinnati is supposed to be the leaders of that division. Before the season started, a lot of people had Cincinnati as a possible favorite for the Super Bowl, and they've just been atrocious. Probably one of the most disappointing teams in the league. In fact, they're among my top 3 disappointing teams in the league: Carolina, Cincinnati, and the Jets. And I tell you what, they might just go out there and say, if we can't get in, we're gonna try to prevent you from getting in. Might be a tough.
I think this game is going to be harder than the Baltimore game. I'm telling you, I just have this feeling, man.
Yeah.
I just feel the Cincinnati game is going to be harder than the Baltimore game, man.
And you know Cincinnati like to play dirty on defense, too.
Yeah, we always go at it, man.
Yeah,
but I think their coach needs to be fired.
You know what, man? I think he got pictures because he should have been fired a long time ago, man. Yo, he either got pictures or a secret, man. Because, he should have been gone a long time ago, man. And I mean, he's got the longest tenure with any team in the league, maybe outside of Belichick. And, I mean, he should have been gone a long time ago, man. I mean, I'm glad to see Jeff Fisher getting fired. I thought he was the biggest fraud in the NFL.
Yeah.
The biggest fraud in the NFL.
Right. Besides those Dallas Cowboys, tell Minister Jehudi I said, I got him.
Yeah, you know what, man? I'm not a Cowboys fan, and I'm an Eagles fan. But, I got to give respect, man. Cowboys is playing some ball. Their last 2 games has been a little bit tough, but they're playing some ball. Hey, Greg, I got a caller coming in. I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, my brother, please.
Who's on the line?
Hello?
Yeah, who's this?
It's Skip.
Skip, what's going on, man? You're going to have to turn down the background there.
Oh, you on in the background, brother?
Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, brother. How are you, man?
Not bad, man. Just trying a new genre, man. Hoping it gets in the ears and the eyes of the right people. Hopefully it lands to somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. Good luck with that, my man. Good luck with that.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So what's on your mind? You got a question? Got a comment?
Well, I was listening to you, my man Greg, talk about Melo and them, and my whole comment to that is, until Porzingis makes that next step, Melo's going to be there.
Exactly.
Until Porzingis makes that next step, until he steps into the role of that superstar to take over for Melo, and Melo can lean on him some more. And personally, I think that's what the comments from Phil are for. I think it's telling him to listen, Melo, trust your other players. Lean on them. Teach them how to be winners. Teach them how to, be prepared for that winning moment. Melo's also got to realize that, listen, bro, when they know the ball's going to you, be that decoy. Get rid of the ball. Get the double team and then get rid of it. That's something that a leader does as well.
I agree.
And that's something that he has to learn.
I agree, Skip. I watch as many Knicks games as possible. I have League Pass. Over the years, they always criticize Melo for not being a willing passer. But I'm going to tell you, man, I've seen Melo pass more in these last 2 seasons than ever. And even prior to these 2 seasons, he would pass the ball. But, Skip, they had guys out there that couldn't shoot a shot, man. They couldn't shoot it in the river, man. And that's not, that don't show up in the box score as a miss assist. You know what I'm saying? It just shows that he only had 1 assist that game, like he's chucking. And that's not the case all the time with him, man. He's a willing passer. But I'm going to tell you something about Porzingis, man. I watched the game the other night against Phoenix, and clearly it looked like the play was to go to Carmelo at the end of the 4th quarter, but it wound up with Porzingis. Porzingis missed a little chippy, and he made that shot to win the game right there. Man, his confidence is through the roof, and now we're looking at we're having a different conversation. Maybe we're talking about, he might be there. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a moment for him. That was a big moment. Carmelo didn't get it. It went right to him. He had the hot hand. Now, I'm not down on him for missing the shot, but I'm just going to bring up that was a moment for him to say that, you know what? When ready to pass it to me, I'm ready.
Right. And I think I agree with you 200% with that point, Rob. The point is that if he made that shot, it relieves some of the pressure off of Melo, and now you have 2 end of the game options.
Exactly.
Not just. I mean, listen. shot.
Right.
Which is outstanding for anybody in the league. I don't care what anybody says.
Right.
9 out of 10. If Melo misses that first shot with 45 seconds left and gets a second chance with 10 seconds left, he'll probably make the second shot.
I agree.
7 out of 10 times. But that's all they have. But he's got to be a better player, whereas, okay, here comes the double. His teammates have to be aware to say, okay, let me flash in the basket if my man doubles. That has to be also a conversation that's had with amongst the team members. Hey, if they come double me, flash in the open spot.
Exactly.
So whoever, it was Kyle O'Quinn. Tyson Chandler was not playing Kyle O'Quinn at all.
No.
And a couple of times, O'Quinn just stood there and popped a little 12-foot, 15-foot jump shot.
Yeah.
Kyle's got to do that more often. I like him as one of the most improved Knicks this year.
Hey, you know what, man? He could be in the runnings for most improved player. He's looking like an athletic Oakley out there. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's so funny? You're absolutely right, because he's definitely physical on the defensive side, but on the offensive side, if he can hit that 15-footer consistently, they'll be better. And I love Brandon Jennings.
Yeah, hey.
Love the energy he brings off the bench.
You know,
his attitude, love his energy. Only thing I hope that they do more is play that kid Holiday some more.
You know what? Holiday is not that good, but the more and more he plays, the better he becomes. I think he's a very serviceable player. I'm gonna switch gears real quick, Skip, and get your thought on this, man. And for you don't know, man, me and Skip, man, we grew up together, man. We played ball together, man. We've been on the same teams, took some wins, took some L's, went head to head. I mean, we go back years, man, years.
That's right,
Sugar. And for those who don't know, man, yeah, God bless his dad, man. If he was here today, he'd call me Sugar, man. That was my name, man, back in the day. That was my name, Sugar, man, after Michael Ray Richardson, man. They used to call me Sugar. I remember having a St. Rita's jacket, said Sugar on it, man. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. But I'm not a fan of Lance Thomas, Skip, and I ESPN blog all the time. I was doing it all summer long with a bunch of players on ESPN blog website. And how would Derek Williams look coming off the bench running with Brandon Jennings right now? That's what I wanted, man. I wanted to re-sign Derek Williams. I think that the Knicks lack athleticism, and he was athletic, and he would have been the only one that can keep up with Brandon Jennings. There's a lot of times Brandon Jennings has to stop and wait for the rest of the team to come down court.
Right. I agree with that. My hope, brother, I think they like Lance better defensively.
Yeah, on that note.
I think that with him, that his role was to play more defense to be an offensive weapon.
Yeah, I mean, and also.
Now, he's coming off 2 injuries, though. I'll give him that. He's coming off 2 injuries. He's just getting into playing shape.
Yeah.
So I would like to see him get to where he ended last year.
Yeah, I think Lance is just one of those guys that every coach wants, man. He looked like the first one in the gym, last one to leave. Hey, go get the towel. He go get the towel. You bring the balls out, he go gets the ball. Hey, bag up the balls, he go do it. He's like that teacher's pet. You know what I mean? He's the coach's pet. And because of that, you reward him. He never says no. Whatever you want him to do, he goes do it. And I guess you have to have one of those on the team. But I just think Derek Williams would have been a better fit with Brandon Jennings right now, man. But anyway, hey, I appreciate the call, Skip. I know you've been tuning in. I know you're a Dallas fan. I think Dallas bounced back. I think they bounced back this weekend against Tampa Bay. Although Tampa Bay,
listen, don't be surprised, man. I'm a realist. I'm a fan of the Cowboys, but I'm also a realist. Don't sleep on Tampa.
I think
Tampa's got a good running game. They've got a good passing game. Their defense is a little suspect, but don't sleep on them. I mean, Dallas needs this bounce-back game to get back on the right track.
I think that's what happens, man. I think they pull out a squeaker, something like 21-17, 24-17, 27-24. Just a 3-point game. Not too much scoring, but enough scoring. I think they get back to their winning ways, Dallas. And Tampa Bay, I think they do for a loss. And this is a pressure game. I'm going to remind you fans out there, and Skip, you might know this. This wasn't an 8:30 game.
I know.
A couple of weeks ago, they made this an 8:30 game. So they're putting Tampa on the spotlight right now, saying, hey, okay, we recognize what you're doing. Dallas is 1-11 in a row. We got two young, good-looking quarterbacks, Winston, Dak. All right, we're going to put you on prime time, man. So let's see how Tampa Bay responds to that. Dallas is at home. It should be fun to watch.
Definitely.
All right, Skip. Hey, yo, thanks for the call, man. And if we don't talk, man, have a happy holiday, man.
Hey, you too, brother.
All right.
Man, be well.
Same.
All right,
be
brother.
good, man. Take care. My man Skip. Woo! My man Skip. That's a great call right there. Shout out to Jeannie once again. She's tuning in. Appreciate that. Thanks, Skip. Thanks for calling, man. Yeah, we used to play ball back in the days, man. We played against some players, man. Yeah, and we had some good times, man. Some good times, man. Thanks for the call. So we talked a lot about the NBA, man. Good talk about the Knicks, of course, coming from New York, and a lot of my friends that follow me on Facebook, they're also going to be Knicks fans, so they're going to speak about the Knicks, So, yeah, I appreciate that. But we're going to move on back to the NFL because, there's some big games coming on. We touched on it. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, that's going to be a tough game. Detroit going into MetLife, that's going to be a big game. And then I'm curious to see how Miami's going to respond. Winners of 6 of the last 7 got a chance to get in the playoffs, but their quarterback may not be able to make it with sprained ACL, MCL. I'm not a Tannehill fan, all right? I'm not a Tannehill fan. I think he's just average. But one thing I know, man, Game 14, in the midst of a playoff race, you don't need your backup quarterback in there. You don't. You don't need it. Unless you, I think it's Jeff Hostetler, who came in for Phil Simms and took the Giants to the Super Bowl and won. That's a different story. But how many of them is out there? How many of them is out there? Look what happened to Dallas last year when Romo went down. They went through about 3 or 4 quarterbacks. And that's what makes Dak so special, by the way. Romo goes down, they're 11-2 with 11-game winning streak. 0-2 against the Giants, 11-0 against the rest of the league. Same roster. And a couple of games he didn't have Dez Bryant either. Oh, by the way, he had a rookie running back in the backfield. That's what makes Dak special. But yeah, Miami, they go into MetLife. They play the Jets on Saturday night. All right, quick note there for the Jet fans out there or Miami fans. That game is Saturday night. So it's a bunch of good games out there. Yeah, and Carolina, how are they going to respond meeting Josh Norman in Washington? With Washington with a playoff spot on the line. How's that going to play out? That might be interesting. I think you got Tennessee and, is it Tennessee and Denver? No, Tennessee and Kansas City. Tennessee fighting for a playoff spot. KC fighting for the division. They're looking at securing the division and maybe competing against New England for home field advantage. A lot of good football this weekend, guys. A lot of good football, guys and gals, I should say. My fault on that. So let's tune in, and let's tune in for that. Hey, listen, I'm going to end the show today. I want to appreciate my callers, the minister, Greg, as always, first-time caller, Skip, childhood friend, as well as Greg. I want to appreciate you guys calling in. To the ones that are tuning in, my cousin, much love. As I said, Jeannie, she's responding, and everybody else, my niece, Newbie, for tuning in. And I think there was some others, but I appreciate you all, man. And as I always say, I'll see you in 24. Peace and blessings. This is Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Y'all be good.